In today's video, we're going to be creating this world population dashboard in Power BI. I already have a blank project or a blank report in Power BI already open, so you can go ahead and do that. The link to this dataset will be in the description box below. First thing we're going to do is over here. Now we're going to get data from another source, and I'm going to click on this. Select text/CSV, and I'm going to connect. And I'm just going to select the dataset we're going to use, and I'm going to go ahead and open that, and we'll give this a moment to connect and load. So this is what our dataset looks like. You can just take a moment to glance at it. We're not going to change anything about it. We can just go ahead and start building our visual. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to load my data. So my dataset is loaded. We can now start building our visuals or building our dashboard. The first thing we're going to do is come over to format your reports without adding anything. First thing we're going to do is come over to wallpaper, and under color, select more colors. We're going to change the color of this to 001D 3D. And yeah, we have this. Next, let's go over to insert, and we're going to insert a text box. This text box we're going to use for our dashboard. Title is going to be World Population Dashboard. And I'm going to select the entire thing and change the size of this text to 28. Let me just extend this a bit. Okay, now I'm going to select my text box and go over to properties. The height of this text box is going to be 63, and the width is going to be 625. Let's also center this text, so we're going to change the alignment to center. Now let's come over to effects. We're going to change the background color, so select color, and we're going to change the color of this background to 003566, and this is a much darker color, so this there's no contrast between. So let's select the text, and we're going to change the color to white like this. Now I'm just going to select my text box so I can move it, and I'm just going to move it down and then a little bit to the side towards the left. Okay, this is the title. If we have to move it around later on, let me just do that now. I feel like I could have a little bit more space to the top and then to the left, or if we have to move it later, we will. Well, yeah, this is our title for our dashboard. Let's create some KPIs or cards for 2023 2000 and 1970 population. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select card, and for a card you have two options. You can either add the data here. Let me just expand it. So let's start with the 2023 population. You can either add it here or just add it straight to the actual visual itself, and it's just going to load, and you say that the population as of 2023 according to this dataset is 8 billion. We're going to format it as we go. So let's come over to visuals, and we're going to modify this. So the color value, let's make the size 30, and we're going to make the color of the text white, so it's going to disappear for a moment, but when we format it you'll be able to see it. And the display unit currently is just set to auto. I want to have 2 decimal places. Once again, we can't say it because obviously we've changed it to white. The category label, I'm going to turn it off. Go to general, and in properties, let's change the height to 63, and the width is going to be 203 like this. Let's close this. Under let's turn on the title, expand this, and then we're going to write our title, which is 2023 population. And I'm going to change the size to 12. Let's make it bold, make the text color white as well, and align it to the middle, to the center. Let's minimize the title, go over to effects, and under colors we can now change the color to this lighter shade, the one that is 003566. So the same shade with the one we used in our title. So this is what your card should look like, and I'm just going to close this. So this is a card displaying the population for 2023. So we just want to look at some specific, I think, how many years do we have? This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not actually 10 years, it's just spanning 53 years. So we can't have all of that. Let's just pick, I just went for a spread 2023, 2000, 1970. So 23 years, then 30 years. So we're going to do this 2 more times for the 2000 and 1970 population. Now what I'm going to do is just right click, and I'm going to copy visual, and then I'm going to paste twice. So we'll have 2 copies of this, and I'm just going to move this. I'll just try and spread all 3 out like this. Probably have to move them around again, but for now I'm just going to have all of them here. Let me just select all 3, go to format, align, and distribute horizontally. Now let's come back to this one. We even have less space in here, but I want to add the charts, and then maybe we'll figure out, whether this should come in, whether it should go out. Don't worry too much about it. Let's start with this one. So for this, I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to grab the 2000 population, and I'm going to put it here. Now we'll go to general, and then under title we can now change this to 2000 population, and then for this one, go back to the data. We're going to remove this, and then we're going to grab the 1970 population, add it there, and then we can go back to format card, go to general, under title we're going to change this to 1970 population. And so we can look at it. This is the population doubled, and then almost doubled. It's just under double the amount, because this is like basically 3.7. This is 6.15 billion, almost double, and then we have an additional 2 billion in 23 years. Well, yeah, that is just a visual representation. You can change the order if you want to, but I prefer this. Well, you can change the order if you want to, but yeah, let's just leave it like this. Now we can go on to build our charts and our visuals. Let's start with this. So I'm going to select a stacked column chart, and let's grab the country, and we're going to add country to the x-axis, and we're going to grab the 2023 population and add that to the y-axis. So I want to limit this to the top 10 countries. So we want to look at the most populous countries in terms of population. So let's expand filter, and under country, expand this, expand basic filtering, and then select top n instead, and we want to look at the top 10, and then we're going to grab 2023 population and add that here, and then we're going to apply filter, and now we have the most populous countries. Now come over to format, we're going to select this, and for the x-axis we are going to turn off the title and change the color. I won't be able to see this because I have to change it to white, but we're going to change the color. So I'm going to change it to white, and then also make it bold, and we can close this. For the y-axis, turn off the value and turn off the title also. Now come to grid lines, and okay, the grid line is already off, there's no need to off it. Let's go to columns and color, select more colors. We're going to use this color, that's going to be FF C300, and let's collapse that, and then let's come to data labels, and we're going to turn this on. We're going to expand it, and we're going to leave all of this as it is. Now under value we have sum of 2023 population. That's fine. Just make this bold, and then the color make it white also, and let's close this. Let's go back. Let's now go to general. Under properties, change the height to 310, and width is going to be 625. It's already 625. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Let's go to title, and we're going to change this to most populous countries, and for the sake of this one, so I will know what year we're referencing, I'll just write 2023, and I'm going to make this bold. Text color is going to be white. Let's minimize this, go to effects, and in background let's use this color. So it's going to be 0035360, the same we've used in these other items, and this is what our charts should look like. But yeah, this is the I just remembered one final detail. I want the title to be centered, so I'm just going to come here and change the horizontal alignment to center. So under general, title, and then change the alignment of the text to center. And yeah, that's what our chart looks like. So now I'm going to align it to the edge of this title, and I'm going to use my arrow key to move it around. I'll just select these two items. Let me bring this, because I think I'll prefer if it was a bit. I'll just move this one to align to this other one. Maybe let me just move this one a little bit. I'm going to select these three and just distribute them again. Okay, so this is what we have. So this is the most populous countries in 2023. We have India, China, United States, so on and so forth. Well, yeah, that's it for this chart. Next up, let's look at the population distribution by continent. We're going to use another stacked column chart, and let me just move it here. Might still have to change the dimensions, no worries. So we're going to grab continent, add that to the x-axis, and we're going to grab still the 2023 population. That's what we'll be focusing on for this particular data set. So we have the distribution. We have Asia first, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, and Oceania. Okay, let's now go over to format our visual. Under the x-axis, let's make this bold, and we are going to change the color to white, and we're going to turn off the title. Minimize, go to the x-axis, turn off the values, and turn off the title. Now let's go to columns, and we're going to change the color to that yellow color. Minimize, turn on data labels, and we're going to expand this. Let's go to value, expand this, make it bold, change the color to white, and we're just going to minimize. Let's now go to general. Under properties, the height is currently 310 by 625, so you just created a new one with exactly the same dimensions. We're going to leave it as it is. Let's change the title. So this will be population distribution by continent. Next, let's make it bold, change the color of the text to white, and change the horizontal alignment to center. And I'm going to minimize this. Come over to effects, and in color, change it to this blue color. And yeah, this is the population distribution. Let me see. I want to align it to the first KPI, this 2023 population. Okay, so I think I'll just move this maybe a little bit so that it's on the edge with this one, and maybe I can just once again distribute it. So align, and I'm going to distribute horizontally. Okay, that's it for this visual. Let's create the next visual. So once again, we're going to use a stacked column chart. Let's grab countries, add that to the x-axis, and we're going to grab density and add that to the y-axis. Now let's expand filters, expand this, and instead of basic filtering under filter type, select top n, and we're going to select top 10, and we're going to, the value we're going to use is density. Go ahead and apply, and we can minimize this. Now come over to format your visual. Expand the x-axis, make it bold, color of the text is going to be white, and turn off the title. Close this, expand the y-axis, and under values, make it bold, change the color of the text to white, and turn off the title for this. Now go over to columns, change the color to that yellow color. I'm going to minimize this. Now let's go to general. Under properties, the height is currently 310. Leave it as it is. Change the width to 414. Next, go to title. Now let's change the title. This is going to be top 10 countries by density. And we are going to make this bold, change the color of the text to white, and align it to the center. Finally, go to effects, and under background, change the color to that blue color. Okay, this time we have grid lines, so I'm just going to go back to visual, under grid lines, and turn it off. And yeah, this is the top 10 countries by density based on this data set. I'm just going to move this so it's aligned to the edge, and I'll use my arrow key to kind of move it down like this. Okay, that is the top 10 countries by density chart. Next, let's look at the growth rate by continent. So we're going to once again use a stacked column chart, and I'm going to grab continent, put that in x-axis, and we're going to grab the growth rate, put that in the y-axis. And yeah, let's come over to format our visual. In this tab, in the x-axis, make the text bold, change the color to white, and then turn off the title. Minimize, go to the x-axis, under values, make the text bold, change the text color to white, and turn off the title. And we can minimize this. Expand grid lines, turn off the grid lines, and columns, we are going to change the color to yellow, and we're going to minimize that. Let's come over to general. Let's go to properties. The height is 310, leave it as it is. The width is going to be 414. Now the title is going to be growth rates by continents, and make the text bold, change the color of the text to white, and align to the center. Let's minimize, go to effects. Now we're going to change the color of the background to blue. And yeah, this is the growth rates by continents charts. So we have Africa first, Asia, Oceania, North America, South America, and finally Europe. Next, let's do growth rate by countries, but we're just going to limit it to the top 10. So I'm going to once again use a stacked column chart. Let's grab country, put that in the x-axis, and we're going to grab growth rates, put that in the y-axis. Now I want to limit it to the top 10, not just all the countries. So once again, come over to filters, and under countries, expand this. Under filter type, select top n, and we're going to limit this to the top 10, and we're going to grab growth rate and add it to this field. Apply filter, and I can go ahead and minimize this. So this is the growth rates we have for in terms of the top 10. We have these countries. Now let's format our chart. So come over to format your visual. In the x-axis, we're going to make the text bold, change the color of the text to white, and turn off the title, and we can minimize this. Now come to the y-axis and expand values, make the text bold, change the color to white, and we're going to turn off the title. Close this, select grid lines, and then turn off the grid lines, and expand columns. Under color, change the color to yellow, and I'm going to close this. Let's go to general. In properties, height is currently 310, and I'm going to change the width to 414. Let's go to title, and we are going to name this growth rates by countries. Next, make the text bold, change the color of the text to white, and align to the center, and I'm going to minimize this. Finally, go to effects, and under background, change the color to this blue color, and we'll just align this one. I'll just select these three charts, go to format, align, and we can distribute horizontally. Okay, so that is our world population dashboard for 2023. If you want to there isn't really any connection between these data sets. Like you can see, if I select India, it's only affecting Asia because that's where India is from, and such and such. So this data set isn't one that is connected to itself in a way like a sales dashboard, where if you pick a country, you can see sales by region, by whatever, or things like that. Well, it's a straightforward and simple dashboard, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed making it. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed watching the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.